car facing forward. And then also not to run it off and cut too much into that turn 2. It's a very difficult thing. Obviously, purple sector 1, as you'd expect.
Indeed, now going through into turn 8. Turn 8's very tricky on the traction and exit to get right, and then right here, turn 9 and 10, lockup central, as some drivers have called it. It's downhill, it's a hard double apex braking zone. And we could already see an Alpine going wide through there. That was random in the Alpine. Somehow that hasn't invalidated the lap, but it's not a good lap time for it. Red S now going to be going through, if you have
into the last 2 corners.
Yeah, if you have the ABS assist on with turn 9 and 10, instead of locking up, you will get a boatload of understeer. As
Predator does set a 131 point. I wonder if he does go again. He didn't use most of that battery up there. He still has quite a lot of that. Troy then gets in with a 130.6 random with his lock up into turn 9. 131.8 as well. I believe next across the line will be Luck, 129 flat, and then John going to follow him. What can John answer up to? 128.8! First blood once again goes to Luck. Goes to John.
Also, notably, it is a little bit tighter, I think, between at least Troy and the top 2 here, and our 2 that were competing for a race win. If about 3 seconds, a lot of drivers here are a lot more comfortable on this track. It is.
Yeah, Jeddah's a very tough track. Morgan's got to finish her lap. Where does she slot herself? She slots herself right just behind John. Another 128.8. Ahead of Luck and behind John.
There was a scenario last week where Morgan could have won the race. And she sets a statement lap right there, getting in the P2. Not quite enough to pit John, but a very strong lap nonetheless from the Dutch driver.
I believe Skylar, as he did last time out in Jeddah, is going to do 2 out laps effectively. The tyres are obviously very difficult to heat up, and so trying to get as much heat into those tyres as possible with those 2 out laps. Yeah. Could come in clutch though for him.
Indeed. Gonna be looking to get into the 129s, presumably. That's where his competition would lie.
Yes, his main competition would most likely be around Troy. He'd want to everything to beat Troy here, especially with Avo and Mavi not being here. The Ferrari Aston Martin fight will be straight between the 2 of them.
Indeed. We'll also see what Kamaru is able to do in that V car.
Had quite a quiet race in Jeddah. Just ended up in the middle, not really bothered by either side. So we'll see if that comes to the same here, or if he keeps up with the top runners, or if he gets caught up by the likes of Troy, Pridus, maybe Skylar.
Yeah. Skylar looks quick, but not quite getting onto that exit curve, but he manages to set a 131.8.
1,000th of a second faster than Pridus.
That's
and only 9,000ths faster than Random, so 5, 6, 7 separated by less than a 10th of a second.
That is an incredible fight up there right now, at least on these banker laps. We'll see what they're able to do with 10 minutes left in the session. I was going to say Skylar not quite using all that exit curve on the last turn. Maybe could get a little bit more aggressively on the power at the apex, or just carry that little bit of extra speed through the corner.
Kimaru's coming along now. What's he going to set? A 129.7, so comfortably ahead of Troy, but also comfortably behind Luck, Morgan, and John. Leo is coming up through Sector 3 as well. His first 2 sector times... Well, his Sector 1 was a couple attempts down, but his Sector 2 is on fire! He
Yeah,
might actually... He's just... Yeah, it's like 5 tenths faster.
and there he goes for 128.3 to spoil the party. The Season 4 champion. Doing very well there to get on top. As we saw with last time, it's no guarantee that he will win races here. We'll see what he's able to do, though.
The 128.
Yes. It's about 5 tenths ahead of John and Morgan. Most of that is just Sector 2. John's Sector 2 at 38.5, or Leo's is a 37.9. That entire time save is purely in Sector 2.
Yeah, I'm wondering if something happened in 9 and 10.
It seems to be consistent around with 38.3 from Luck and 38.4 from Morgan. So it could be that Leo's running a higher downforce setup, as his Sector 1 and Sector 3 are both slower than the 3 cars behind him.
Yeah, with that comes, if that is what he is doing, then it gives him the advantage in the qualifying here. But then in the race, on these long straights for Bahrain, you're gonna be struggling to get by if you end up behind.
Yeah, if he does get on pole, he's gonna hope for a quick launch where he doesn't get tangled up by John, Luck, or Morgan. Because if he ends up in that pack, he's gonna struggle to break away or even overtake. But if he gets out in front, he'll probably gain a lot of time in Sector 2 just from the zigzaggy portion after Turn 4.
Yeah. Look at the Red Bull about to enter Sector 3. Are the Sector 3 times, like, how are the Sector 3 times between John and Leo, if I can ask?
John seems to be a 10th up on Leo. Although, in the last lap, they looked to have been similar. John most losing his time in Sector 1 that time, so...
Yeah, that is
John does
still...
improve to a 128.4. Luck to a 128.7.
Yeah, Morgan gonna be making a challenge now. That is what you would expect from a difference in downforce between the two drivers. Between the other couple drivers, Morgan sets at
128.6. So again, she is keeping Luck away from the top 2 and out of the top 3.
Indeed. She's doing what she can there in order to get into that position as well. And we've seen there are ways to make a lot out of something, out of a slightly poor qualifying start, especially on a track like this. Especially if your opposition is running a higher downforce setup than you. And remember, DRS only kicks in on lap 2 this time, not lap 3. So it's that much harder on the one in pole, and if I'm Morgan, if I get into a position to challenge John for P2, I'd maybe give it a little bit of a heartfelt one, but don't spend too much time challenging. Just stay within the DRS.
But then also,
yeah,
it's a long championship at this point, but you want to try to get ahead of anyone who can be your rival in the early stages.
Indeed.
Obviously, the championship is the finishing order from the last race. So John, Morgan, Mavi. Obviously, Mavi not being here makes it difficult for him to retain that third. But
Obviously.
It does give Morgan a little bit more of an incentive to fight John. Just a little bit harder already.
Yeah. Like, it's the thinking, like, if you want to think about the long term versus if you want to think about winning this race in particular. We'll see what they do, though. I can at least say what would be entering my head, potentially. As the Aston Martin's going to be out on track. A couple drivers going to be getting ready for their final run.
I imagine Skylar will do as he does best, do two outlaps.
Did?
That means he'll probably time it to a pretty good standard. I think he might be one of the last ones to start his lap, providing when John, Morgan, Luck, and Pridus exit the pits for their final lap. Leo is already out the pits though.
Indeed. Leo not wanting to waste the time there. Maybe he's feeling it in himself. You just, because sometimes if you stew for a bit, you can mess around with your head, your flow. Whereas if you just had a good lap, you might be thinking you're more inclined to keep that momentum going, even if it means sacrificing that tiny bit of track evolution. Yep, Skylar is doing the second outlap. Many other drivers going to be still on their outlap. Troy's about to start his flying lap, potentially.
I believe this will be Random's flying lap as well. Yes, it is Random. Currently P8. Want to see if he can get ahead of Pridus and Troy.
Indeed.
Light snap out of turn 4.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not. He's up. He's down his time through sector 1 by a tenth, but there's still time to make. There's still time to make.
Indeed,
He's just got to get a
especially
perfect
here.
exit.
Go.
See how his braking doesn't run while on the exit. Doesn't snap on the exit either. Looked like that was a pretty good corner there. Pretty good turn 9.
Indeed, only critique you could maybe level at it was that he might have bit a little bit too much of the curve, and sometimes when you lift up a little bit on that mounted curve, it could break your traction. But
He is up a little bit, but not by much. He won't be able to overtake Troy or Pridus at that time, unless... But he might want to protect his time from Skylar, who will be on a proper fast lap now.
indeed, several drivers going to be working through as Random, first of our final ones, that he has no improvement.
He does not improve. 131.3.
Here comes
I believe next will be Troy. What will he set? A 130.3.
He's gotta be happy with that one. Here comes Leo, though, who is also improving and getting slipstream from his teammate.
A 128 flat. Not the 127s, but that will be a difficult time to beat. I wonder if that slipstream will actually curse John at the very end. If that slipstream will be enough to get Leo that pole.
Yeah. Potentially a little bit on purpose, mayhaps. But, oh. The V-Carb and the Red Bull there having a little bit of a I'm letting you buy game. Look on about.
Kamaro's a little bit too close to luck, I would say, but I believe Morgan will be the last one to start the lap, unless it's going to be Skylar. I'm not sure. Skylar sets a 131 flat. I don't think he's going to be able. Yeah, he's not going to do another time for that, so that will be his time set.
Dude, So Morgan is going to get the most of the improvement there in the track.
Ooh,
There-
luck is invalidated. Luck has invalidated. He will not improve on his 128.7.
Indeed, and Morgan did catch him in the S's there, which is going to be tricky. We do have John about to cross the line. John, not on the best pace, but we'll see what he gets. A 128.2.
128.9, that's pretty good. I think that'll be enough to cover off Morgan, who obviously is down through Sector 1. Maybe meeting luck in that S's is going to cost her dearly.
Indeed. We'll see what she's able to do here in the final sector, though. That McLaren is taking as much of the curve as she can. Maximizing the entry.
Good exit, though. How much does she still have?
She's
The last
gonna